Hi, so I am going to walk you through how I created my sample portfolio and why I included the slides that I did. So first, each portfolio would start out with the page that has the student's first and last name on it. And the next slide is the Hugs and Hope slide. So I saw this included in a parent-teacher interview, and the hugs are basically what the student is doing well within the classroom, and the hopes are things that the student can continue to work on for the rest of the year. So this is if you would include this if you were showing this portfolio during interviews, and it gives the parent an idea of where the student is at in the classroom. The next slide I included was about personal knowledge development. So this is included in the kindergarten report card. Students are required to know their first and last name, their address, their telephone number, as well as their birthday. So I just gave a brief description of what the student knew in text, and I included an audio recording. So to include that, I did it directly from my computer, and I just went to Insert, down to Audio, and then you just click on Record Audio. And you can ask the student the questions, and they can answer right then and there, and then it's very easy just to put it directly into the portfolio. So I will just show the example I have here. Can you tell me your full name?
Joseph Price.
And do you know your address?
No.
No. Do you know the numbers on your house? Do you know the numbers that are on your house?
3, 4.
3, 4?
4, 3.
Okay. And can you tell me your phone number?
527-1933.
And do you know your birthday?
No.
Okay, so the next slide is a survey that talks about the students' likes and dislikes within the class. So this was done as a hard copy on paper, and students colored in what they liked with green, what they didn't like with red, and what they sometimes like with the yellow. And I just took a picture of this and uploaded the picture and incorporated it into the slide so that the parents can have an idea of what the student enjoys about school. Another thing that the students need to know and learn in kindergarten is how to write their name with capital letters for the first letter and the rest in lowercase letters. So this student did a very good job. I just took a picture with my phone once again and uploaded onto the computer and put it in that slide. Another concept that students need to learn in kindergarten is how to draw a person with detail, so not just a circle with sticks coming out of it. So this student did an excellent job with detail in their self-portrait as well as their family portrait. So I just took pictures of that and included that and put the dates for when the student did this. So if you were to, this portfolio reflects a student during the first semester or first term, so up until about November. But if you were to do this, say, in March again, you could have the student's picture from September and then another one from later on in the year, maybe February or March, and see the growth. Kindergarten testing also includes identifying letters, uppercase and lowercase. So I took a video. I did this directly from my computer, but you could do this in other ways using a tablet or a video camera, phone camera. So I just had the student go through the testing just as they would without the camera, but I was able to incorporate the video into the slides here.
ADMSRETO HBWI.
I think that gives you the gist of it. So it also goes through the lowercase letters. And this is really ideal because parents sometimes don't realize that or think that their child may know more than was recorded in their report cards, or were surprised with how much they knew. So this shows them exactly what they answered on that particular day, so they kind of see what the student was being assessed on. And sometimes that varies from what the student actually knows, but it just shows the parents exactly what you were testing on. The next slide is the number recognition, and it's the same idea. I just went through the numbers 0 to 10, which is included in the testing, and I did it in video form again. So to do this, I just went to Insert, to Movie, and I put a movie from File, and I just had used the basic video camera from my Mac. I included the student counting from 1 to as high as they were capable of. This particular student counted to 120, which is very good for a kindergarten, and I included it with an audio clip.
Here you go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
And for the next slide, I showed how well the student is able to follow directions. So I took a picture of another hard copy paper, and it was an activity that was done within the class where students were directed to follow what the teacher was saying, and it was assessed on whether they were able to do that. And same with this slide, this just shows that they can color in the lines and that they are able to cut with scissors. So some of the fine motor skills there. The pumpkins in this particular picture were cut out with scissors. This part comes directly from the EYES assessment, which is done in kindergarten, the early years evaluation. So what students needed to do here was look at these 3 pictures and tell a story. So I just showed the pictures on the computer and did another audio recording.
Okay, can you tell me a story that is happening in these 3 pictures?
Somebody's holding seeds, and somebody's planting the seeds, and the flower growed.
Okay, then we move into math concepts within the portfolio. So one big thing that's an area of focus in kindergarten is patterns. So we did a lot of pattern work, and I just took a sample of one of the activities we did working with patterns. You could put pretty much anything in here that demonstrates the student's knowledge of how to create a repeating pattern. So in this particular one, I just took a picture of one of the drawings or colorings the student did with patterns, and I included the date. There's also sorting and classifying, so I did another video of the student sorting these objects and explaining why they sorted them that way. And I just did it in a form of a video. To show language and communication, which is an important area of development within kindergarten, we did show and share quite often, so I just took a video clip of one of the times the student was sharing something. So I did audio here again.
This is my penguin, and it has a beak, and it has wings, and it has small legs, and it has 3 toes, and is a penguin, and his name is Ice Penguin.
And what do you like to do with your penguin?
Sleep with it.
So if you were including show and share, you might even want to take an actual video of the student speaking in front of the class. Then we move into physical development. So in the EYES testing, these are some of the things that are assessed for gross motor development, balancing on 1 foot for 10 seconds, skipping, and a few others. So I just chose to incorporate those 2 and took videos of the student performing those 2 tasks.
Okay, can you skip towards me? Can you balance on 1 leg for 10 seconds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And on the other leg? 1, 2, 3.
And then for the remainder of the slides, I just put some examples of activities that the student has done within the class. So for some of them, I included the exact outcome that was being assessed for those particular activities, and then just had a brief description underneath of what the student was doing. So you can even put documentation of things that the student was saying and include pictures of the student actually performing the activity. So for this particular slide, I included the outcome and then had a brief description of what the lesson entitled, which was discussing similarities and differences with partners. And I just recorded the student giving their answer to their partner and explaining what them and their partner had in common and what one difference was.
I have blue eyes, and she does. So we're all different because she's a girl and I'm a boy.
And for the final slide, I had a picture of just an activity that the student was working cooperatively with their peers and putting letters into alphabetical order and matching uppercase and lowercase letters. So you could include many slides and include video documentation, include things that the student has said, various pictures, things of the student's work, all kinds of options. So those are just what I chose to include in my portfolio, but obviously the options with this are endless, and it's a great way to eliminate showing a bunch of paper at conferences, and you can include all the different things that you would normally include in a conference, which is the route I went, and put it in digital form.